On February 19th, 2027, we'll celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Wars with a re-release of the 1977 original, back for a limited time in theaters everywhere. Part of Lucasfilm's year-long 50th anniversary celebration, a newly restored version of the classic Star Wars 1977 theatrical release, later renamed Star Wars A New Hope, will play in theaters for a limited time. Guys, this feels unreal. We're going to see an official release, at least a theatrical release, of the original cut of Star Wars. They even acknowledge in the press release the change in name to A New Hope. It seems like we're getting what we've been wanting for a very long time. And what a journey this has been, man. I started this YouTube channel in 2011 because of the changes made to Star Wars. I was never a fan of the special editions, especially when it was realized that those versions were going to be it. The cuts that I grew up with were reserved for VHS and one DVD release. In 2011, I was on a deployment, and I was about to get out of the Navy. And while I was on the deployment, I was reading news about a Star Wars Blu-ray box set that was coming out. And I was so excited. So I went to a midnight release of the Star Wars Blu-ray box set at a place called Movie Stop. There were people dressed up as Star Wars characters. One dude, a grown man, was dressed up as pod racing Anakin. It was a fun experience being at Movie Stop at midnight in 2011 for everybody to buy a box with some of their favorite flicks inside of it. It was cool. But when I got home, I realized that there were more changes made on top of the special edition changes. So I had an itch to talk about these changes on the internet. My first video was about the changes. I made many other videos after that about the changes. I made videos comparing various fan restorations to the special editions, Blu-rays, Disney Plus versions. I've talked endlessly on live streams about the changes and how I want to see the original versions, the versions that I grew up with, released in a modern quality viewing format. Out of everything that I've talked about here in this little pocket of the internet, seeing those versions become available in an official capacity has been my one desire for Star Wars. That singular goal, that singular wish is the glue that has held this channel together for 15 years. And some of you guys have been with me for all of those 15 years. It's incredible. I can't say thank you enough for hopping on and listening to the dumb things I've had to say from time to time on here. We've all changed. I've changed. I've barely had any time to devote to the channel in the past few years. 15 years is a long time. Some of us have families now, careers. We've gone through crazy life experiences. In the past 15 years of my life, I've gotten married, bought a house, sold a house, built a house, had a kid, became a firefighter. And the one constant in all of that change has been HelloGreedo. I'm saying all of this because it feels like with this announcement, the channel has kind of hit a milestone in a way. The thing that I and so many of you have wanted for so long is happening. Hopefully we get an at-home release of this cut of the movie. That would be icing on the cake. I'd be the first person to buy it. Hopefully we get a solid documentary about the restoration process and people talking about how special the pre-special edition Star Wars was to them. Star Wars A New Hope. And some people are like, don't call it A New Hope. It's just Star Wars. I don't mind that, man. They made more. It's fine. Star Wars A New Hope is my all-time favorite Star Wars movie. Literally, if Star Wars was just one flick, one movie, one film, I would be just as much of a Star Wars fan as I would be with everything else that we've gotten under the name Star Wars. That's how much that single movie means to me. It is Star Wars to me. And I know it sounds really silly to anyone who doesn't care, but being able to see Star Wars again the way I remember it, but in a modern quality viewing experience, just feels like this impossible blockade, this wall that I thought would never come down has broken. And I'm just baffled and stunned after all of these years that it's happening. It's a very strange feeling. I know I should be jumping for joy and having balloons around me and doing the very YouTuber thing of yelling and cheering and screaming and yippee skippy, but right now I'm just kind of amazed. I'm surprised. I don't know how to process it. The cheering and the screaming will come on February 19th, 2027. I feel like before I close this little video out, I have to say thank you to Harmy, the creator of the Despecialized edition. His efforts all of these years creating, restoring the Star Wars that so many of us grew up with and love. Harmy, thank you, man. I know we've talked before, and you're a class act. You do it out of passion. You do it because it was a project of love. But brother, I appreciate it, man, and we all appreciate Despecialized. It has been the way so many of us have watched Star Wars for so long, and we're very grateful. God, man, I'm getting a little emotional, Harmy. and another special thanks goes out to the folks at Project 4K77. Your efforts were beautiful, and we greatly appreciate it. That has been my go-to way to watch Star Wars since you guys released 4K77, and it's incredible. And all the folks involved in restoring the original trilogy, thank you so much. And again, thank you to everyone who has stopped by my little cozy corner of the internet to talk about life and occasionally Star Wars. I know I'm not really active these days. I don't have much time to devote to the channel. It's busy over here. You know, I do a few streams when I can. I upload a couple videos a year. But hey, there's been a lot of changes in the past 15 years. So I thank you all for the support. I hope you're excited. I hope this is what we've been wanting for so long. I hope you're feeling amazed too. Cheers, everybody. Be safe out there. HelloGreedo. Out.